All right, salute to everybody that's going to be joining me today. We're going to deal with this question about this fake male loneliness epidemic. Is it a male loneliness epidemic, or is it some made up gynocentric nonsense basically trying to project or redirect the reality of the situation, which is that for most men, they assume that some men are just, there are some men that are sitting around in some basements that are depressed or whatever else, but those individuals probably have some social issues, that they had social challenges and mental health challenges that need to be dealt with. But the vast majority of men are just regular guys working every day, trying to make a living or trying to sustain themselves. And you see, in this era of social media, things have gotten strange. Before, you would hear about guys getting divorced, guys going to divorce court, you would hear about marriages through the grapevine, you would see people at the church, the community, and whatever else. Before social media, things weren't so much in our face, just being shoved down our throats every day. But now everybody has one of these, and obviously, what is being revealed now is the opinions. Particularly women consume quite a bit more social media, and they make a lot of posts, especially TikTok, Instagram, and whatever else. So now we're getting all these outward opinions online, not to mention the real life consequences of relationships, divorce, men's content, so many things that are out front, and especially men sharing their stories about marriages, about divorces. That's being put out here front and center. But we know we deal in an environment, a gynocentric environment in the West, where accountability only really goes one way. And it's by design. It's by design because women are the major consumers. Keeping women shopping, keeping women spending money is primary objective number one, because that's what fuels the economy. But it's gotten to the point now where, because they live in an artificial world without any accountability, unless they had a really good father, unless they had a really good father that created balance in the house, a masculine father, not some simp father or whatever else, they've lived pretty much in this bubble of low accountability. So what happens now with the internet is opinions are expressed unchallenged, whatever else. Just say what you think. That's what women do, because obviously, you know, men really saying things to women is just, whatever. It's a double edged sword. They're not going to listen to men, and the women are just part of their group or sisterhood or whatever is going to agree with them, because again, many of them have that feminist man hating ideology implanted in them or programmed in them through the system. So they're going to get along and agree with them. The problem is that when people continually to say things outright, put all of their expressed thoughts out here on social media, especially when women talking about men, many of the men start believing them, especially when they see real world situations where relationships, they've watched their uncles, they've watched their dads, they've watched family members go through bad relationships and divorce, deal with disrespect, deal with nonsense. I think it's not a loneliness epidemic. I think it's just a burnt out epidemic, because even the guys with many options out here with women, the marriage rate is still low. Yeah, they have a lot of sexual options, but are they marrying these women? Who's marrying them? Even if a guy can have sex with 20, 30 women, is he making serious relationships with these women? Is he trying to marry them? Is he keeping them in a long term relationship? Or they're just a part of his rotation? Or even the men that meet women on dating apps, meet women out in person, are these relationships sustaining themselves over the long term? And I would argue that because there has not been, the push is always about men and this quote unquote fake emotional intelligence and understanding women, that men have been forced to understand women, and women have not really understand man and male psychology, because it's a one-sided equation. Everything we talk about, even with these dating coaches or whatever else, is about what men need to be for women, never about what women need to be for men. So there is that gap there where only one gender is really being taught to understand the other gender. So women are coming out here today, and most of the projections that we hear from them is about what they need and what they want and what men are not doing. And also put on top of that, that they're fueled by internet fantasies and dreams and fantasies that are being sold to them, and many delusions that have been given to them. One, to keep them consuming certain content, and to keep them spending money. Now they have these unrealistic expectations, these grandiose views of themselves. That's why all these positivity movements is centered around them. I always said it before. You've never heard of a broke positivity movement, but you always have body positivity. You have all these positivity movements designed around women, but you don't have any of these. There's no male positivity movement, really. Male positivity movement looks more like Full Metal Jacket. So this is where we're at in society today. And I think it's just a point in time where men are just burnt out, and most of these guys are just choosing peace. Anybody with any, it's not like they're these sexually deprived individuals or whatever else. Anybody can get boxed. The women on nowadays are pretty much engaging in monetized dating, basically prostitution. So it is not, and only thing that keeps guys from really doing that is their own moral code, maybe their religion, maybe their own value system. It is what may restrict the guy from partaking in that activity. Is not because he doesn't have access to it, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and the women are promoting it. So anyhow, let's hit the like button. Let's get this conversation going, and we'll wait for this stream to populate. And before we continue on, make sure we hit the like button so we can move the content, and we'll get right into this topic. So we give it a chance to populate the stream. Stand by. It's funny. I just saw a video by my brother over there, Dr. L. He's talking about women would rather share a man. It's like women would rather share a man than to, be with a guy that they don't want. Yeah, but even the women that are sharing that man is not taking any of them serious. So at the end of the day, it's a circular thing where nothing is being achieved really, other than racking up bodies. Because it's like, you know, what difference does it make? If a guy is out here running through women, hey guys, hit the like button, move the street. If a guy's out here running through women, right, and he's not marrying them, there's nothing really being built. There's no community being built. There's no relationship being built. There's no families or anything being built. It's just a circle of guys just running through women. You know, they're not marrying these women. They're not taking them serious. And the relationship, like I said, there's guys that date women that just doesn't last, because the truth of the matter is, even for the guys out here that's running the women, after they really learn their character and their personality, them dudes end up in post-nut clarity depression. And that's really comes down to disgust. Yeah. And they like, what? This is all you have to offer? It's a crazy, crazy situation. So that's where we at with that. They end up, that's where the dudes, even the dudes that are running through these women, After they sample their personality and discover that they have done no self development, they offer no value, they end up in that mindset, that mentality where they're just not going to, it's like, what the hell, you know? And this is where we're going. This is where we're at right now in the current state of affairs right now. And why you have so many single guys. It's not because they can't get women or all these damn content creators and male content creators, men's content creators have been married for the last 20 years, 25 years. They're all using these theoretical things about trying to describe what's going on around here. Like there's these, you know, these men are just deprived of choices because of, female expectations and whatever else. No, it's just that these relationships don't last because most of it, many times, because of the amount of delusion out here in the culture, many of the women that these guys deal with have become so insufferable. They become so insufferable, and it's not even worth it anymore. What's going on, gunmetal guy? Salute to you, man. How you doing, man? So we have a problem of epidemic of insufferable women. Nobody ever talks about it. It's an epidemic of insufferable women, and they just can't keep a man or maintain a relationship with a man. They can't. So it doesn't matter if you know 15-20% of the men are running through the majority of the it does that stuff is irrelevant if nobody's marrying these women. It's irrelevant. You're going to end up with the she economy, which is what Morgan Stanley projected. Was it 2040 or 2035, where the majority of women are going to be single, living alone? And even the women with the retirement plan mentality are not getting chosen up because most of them are tainted. They're older. They're expecting princess treatment. They want men to be provider man. This new provider man scam they got out here now. A bunch of old feminists that have mismanaged their youth, looking to get a Hail Mary. Now they're reverting back to shaming men for not being traditional. That's the new scam right now. We're going to shame men into sponsoring us for retirement because we know obviously they didn't get married in their younger years. They were out here really, really pushing feminism out here because again, that's they thought that this would last forever. They didn't see a reality where all this government support and all these government boosting was going to start disappearing. And that reality is coming, to truth that, hey, whoa, 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 all these programs, all this whatever support system is being eroded. And automation is the future. So that's where we're going as far as that's concerned. So stand by for a second. Do some housekeeping real quick. Yeah, we hear that damn. So you see them making all these videos online. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they can go. Yeah, like they're making these videos now. People just oh man, let me share that. Let me bring that video to the stream. So they go to social media. This one's called Logical Dating is the platform. They all go to social media and they vent their frustrations with men. Just straight venting frustration with men. Salute to Logical Dating. Let me put the link in the
I think
description.
I owe the men of the world an apology. Well, let me explain before you come in my comments. I always think to myself, why don't men just approach women? Why? It's not that hard. Just say hi. Just say hi. Your hair is pretty. It's not that hard, right? Well, last night I learned it is hard. Okay? And let me tell you what happened. So I'm just sitting at the bar with my buddies, just having a fun time. And in walks some men who were attractive. One in particular, I was like, wow, he's very handsome. So I'm chatting with my friends who are all male in this conversation. I'm like, what do I do?
I
Because
don't know about the
I
music
never
on
really
this.
approached.
Let me see. I don't know about the music on that one. Let's move on to the next one.
You to feel like you're not good enough. It can cause hopelessness. I mean, it gets very deep. Because of that, I think a lot of women don't put themselves out there. I think it boils down to one simple thing, that as women, we have to accept that looks matter. And we can fight it, we can argue it, but looks matter. And when a man's not attracted to us, it hits deep. Because
Let me get that hyena off the. Let me get her off the screen. That's Tyrese X. That old grifter. We know her history. Got married to the guy and cashed in on him, and now she's online making social media videos. Divorced the guy for no reason. Let me get her off the screen. That's another exhibit of these women. She's had a good marriage. This one here. She's been married to a guy, screwed the guy over, have Tyrese all on the internet crying and all that other nonsense. Let me get past her. Yeah.
I don't get a number. I don't get a conversation. I don't get a kiss. I don't get sex. Now let's flip it. Well, that's a rewind, but whatever. Let's flip it. As a woman, if you make yourself available to a guy who's outside of your league, you don't get rejected. You get a one-night stand, friends with benefits, situationship. Maybe it'll even keep you around for a couple weeks, couple months. You're not going to get commitment though, because men, it doesn't even necessarily have to be you making the first move, but if you are dealing with or step to a guy, because a guy will shoot a shot with a girl, he has no intention of ever taking her seriously in a long-term relationship. And I can see the gears spinning, and because it's true.
No. Did you know that hot girls get rejected more than guys? Yeah. It's actually wild. They're actually the most rejected human ever because hot women, they get a lot of attention. So a lot of guys hit on them because of their external appearance. And they're like, when they get to know them and they're like,
But see, this is a different types of rejection. I call it the PNC rejection. What happens with a lot of women that look good, and we've always discussed this, is that they don't develop their personality. So they may have a nice body, a nice figure, and whatever else. People say, well, a lot of these men's content creators talk about hypergamy. No, it's nothing to do with hypergamy. She's single most of the time because she's insufferable. Because even the men that are at the level financially and economically are still not marrying these women. But they'll go in here about, women's hypergamous nature, or maybe women's insufferable nature. Because let's face it, if she looks that good or looks decent, and and she has a great full package in terms of her character, her personality, her femininity, who she is as an individual, some dude, even the dude that make a lot of money, would have snatched her up and kept her. Because it's hard to find good looking women that have great personalities and good character. So the fact that she's single and some guys have been taking advantage of this, To me, it seems like there's some questions that need to be asked. Because again, men have such a huge testosterone level compared to what women have. So the question is, why, with the advantage of just your gender within itself, if you look at the testosterone level in men, men are naturally drawn to women that look decent. And, and you see it all the time around us. And we can make an argument that it's delusion itself that keeps a lot of these women single. But the reality is that they have you know, poor value in terms of what they offer to relationships. They really don't. I mean, they really become loads. It's what happens. They become loads. They have no value beyond just box. And that's the fundamental reason. Beyond box, there's nothing that's given in terms of that femininity or that support or that energy that would make a man want to be with a woman long term. And this is why the relationships themselves keep turning over. You look at them, you see them, you say, well, shoot, she looks really good. Why is she still single? Why is she so single? Because she's painful on the brain. That's the answer is really simple. It's not hypergamy. It's not any of these things. It's really comes down to because there's so many options that women have for men. So many options. And many times the value that they think that they bring to relationships, it only exists in their minds. It's only existing in their minds because they don't really care what men want or what men value. They already have this mindset, this perception that they're everything that men should desire just for the fact that they're women. Let me add that back to the screen. So you see a lot of women that look like this. Obviously, she's smothered up in makeup, but many of them are single. And there's some guy that is like, whoa, you know, she tortured me. There's some guy somewhere that just sees this woman and is like, oh my God, whew, sorry for the next guy. Let's continue on.
Oh, you're actually not my type. And then they're not as interested anymore because she opened her mouth. No, just kidding. But the problem is because they have so many different types of people hitting on them, you're not always going to get your type. She's not always going to be your type. So yeah, be nice to the hot girls. They get rejected more than the average human and they need some loving too. So go hit on a hot girl today and, get to know her a little bit. Don't be mean, be nice.
I had to literally talk myself into going back to talk to him. I got in the car and I'm like, because I don't know, I felt like maybe if I engaged, he would eventually just take the bait. But I went back and I seen him and I got enough courage and I was like, oh my gosh, would it be really weird if I asked for your number? And then he was like, well, I'm actually talking to someone. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so honest. Because I feel like some guys, he just seemed like the guy. Even his response is like, I will want to be with you because you just seem like a honest ass person. And he just shook my hand and he was just so chivalrous. He was like one of those proud, strong black kings. And I don't know why.
See, that's her right there, shopping outside of her league. That same woman right there probably has a bunch of guys in her friend zone that are on her level. And, she's just looking for some dude that's a part of the 10% that's only going to pound her out and just toss it to the side. So this, you can't really feel sorry for them because, they really don't they don't really come with a genuine spirit, basically. But now what's happening too is now you see this epidemic of shame, which is what happens is women have created this environment with men where men are just like, yo, you on your own. And they've said so many things to men over the years that the dudes are like, yo, I ain't trying to, you guys have been flexing for the last how many years about how strong and independent and how powerful you are. But when it comes to real life circumstances like this, I saw this video, right? Salute to my man, Beast Mode Smooth Reacts, and this is like an example of what we see out here. They're complaining about men not being traditional when they've really burnt their britches with men in terms of saying that they're strong and independent, talking down on men. So now we see videos like this nowadays.
My question is, where are the black men in America? 6. But the black men here now, the standards of the men are so low, and I think most of our men have lost their standard and who they are when it comes to
Yeah.
helping our females. It's sad, very sad.
All right, guys, go and check out this compilation video. Here we go.
So I'm having to lift these mountains by myself because there's no one here to help me do this 5. When I came to Walmart.
You notice, right? All she's talking about is men as this utility. That's all she care about. That's all they talk about. What they need men to do for them to make their life better. That's all they care about. You're like a disposable tampon, and that's what that's these videos now, and that just makes the men not help them. It makes it worse. Now when they do this, the dudes just double down and like, yo, kick rocks. But listen to the shame. Like the question, lady, it should be is where is your man? Where is your man? Why isn't your man helping you? And why isn't a man in your family helping you? Where is your man? You expect strange men who don't know you to risk hurting their back for some strong, independent queen. And a reflection of her attitude is in the way that she's making this video. It's like disdain. Like, you guys are disgusting. Where are you at? You disgusting men that won't serve, that won't make my life easier and better. Where are you at? How dare you not serve me? How dare you not worship me? How dare you not come out here and risk your back being thrown out for me? It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. It's certainly not feminine. You're certainly not going to get any response, any help. So I don't blame the guys. Hey, don't help her. Let her do it herself, strong lady.
They have no one here.
Listen.
My question is, where are the black men in America? 6. So where are the black men here in America? It's so sad that female now has to do everything for themselves. Yeah, there are some of us who need the black man to help us out with stuff. But the black man here now, the standards of the men are so low. And I think most of our men have lost their standard and who they are when it comes to helping our females. It's sad. Very sad.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, here we.
So here she go. Her logic is that you got men are have low you loser low standard men because you're not helping me get some bags from, I don't know whether it's Home Depot or Lowe's. I don't know you. You're not my family member. You're nothing to me. But your job is to you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. He said they need to quit. That not all police statement about a good woman still existing because they're standing too close to the bad ones because they enjoy the benefit of being bad sometimes. It's true, man. It in their mind, they have such disdain and lack of respect for men. You know, they say you catch more with honey, not vinegar. They don't even have the respect to even pander to men or to offer some type of olive branch to men. Their response is just purely shame. That's a woman shame. You owe us this because we are women. The same women that have you can't tell them nothing. Strong and independent women. You owe us this servitude. You owe us servitude. You know, and nobody said, "Where's your man, woman? Where is your man? Where is your family members?" It's madness. Where is your man?
And to help us out with stuff. But the black men here now, the standards of the men are so low. And I think most of our men have lost their standard and who they are when it comes to helping out females. It's
Yeah,
sad.
yeah.
Very sad.
Boy, oh boy, here we go again. Here we go again. We just saw a black man basically get a whole lot of backlash for simply saying hello to a
Exactly.
black woman out in public. Not even trying to get her number, not even trying to holler at her, just simply exchanging pleasantries, keeping it moving. And black women were coming after him. They were basically saying that he should have paid for her groceries in order to get a hello from a black woman. Okay, so you have black women saying, leave us alone. And then in this case, we have black women saying, where are the black men? Right? How come they're not here to help me? Now I'm just thinking to myself, if I was out and about and she was to ask for help, she was kind and courteous, I would help her out. I would help her out. That's just me. Because I think men, generally speaking, don't mind protecting and providing. That's not the issue, right? The issue is the environment that modern women have created when it comes to men approaching women, right? Because these women are boohooing and complaining, basically saying that they want to be left alone.
Hey, stand by. Hey, you guys, hit the like button. We got 14 in the chat, 15 in the chat now. Guys, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the like button. Likes are free. And if you guys want to support the platform, please do. But let's continue on. But make sure you hit the like button.
And now you've created an environment where men have responded and respected your wishes, and they're still complaining about it, right? Don't think that a man is just going to spring into action nowadays and just help you out just because again, the environment that these modern women have created, you just don't know. You don't know if there's a camera recording. You don't know if she's making a TikTok video. You don't know if it's going to be a weird dynamic. Depending on if she finds you attractive, it may be considered harassment. You know what I mean? Like the list goes on and on and on when it comes to the optics of these situations. So if you want help, ask for it.
Y'all gotta stop y'all friends from being delusional before it's too late. I had a friend about 6 years ago. I tried to stop her 6 years ago. I go to brunch with my other friend today. Come to find out she doing bad, living in her car. She done lost a man because of this internet. I'm telling you, 6 years ago, I realized she was delusional. She had a boyfriend, and I knew him. He was above average, earning, looks.
Hey, let me stop and support my man, man. Say appreciate you, gunmetal guy. I appreciate the support, man. He said I appreciate you giving your time to educate and warn men about the confusion and misdirection that waits for us dealing with this community lost black women. Hey, salute to you, man. Appreciate the super chat, man. Absolutely, absolutely. They want servitude without respect. That's pretty much it. Without respect, without offering anything of value. They don't even have to, they don't want to even be kind. They don't want to be nice. The same type of women that have talked about decentering men, and like I said, they have a biological advantage over men. They don't they are single because they want to they have this idea and this mindset of strong and independent. Don't need no man. Get your, get yourself a man, and then you won't be lifting them bags by yourself.
Height, everything. He was a good guy. She thought she was bigger than the program. And I realized that because every time I would be around her, she was always showing me what somebody else got, what somebody else on the internet is doing. Oh, look at her man bought her this. She got this. Oh, I want this. And she already had a man who bought her 3 luxury cars. He paid most of her bills. He took care of her. Of course, they weren't rich, but she wasn't even qualified for that type of man that she already had. And for some reason, because she had a decent man, she thought she was bigger than the program. Child, come to find out, he done left her ass. And it's the thing I tried to tell her every time she would show me, oh, look at, oh, her man bought her Chanel. Oh, look what she got. I said, you don't know them people. You don't know what she has to go through. You don't know. She'd be showing me like, oh, I know this girl. She getting this, and that. I'm like, but you're not in her bedroom. You don't live with her. All you know is what she tells you. Didn't get it. Delusional. And look, she done lost her man. He engaged to a whole nother girl. Child, do not let your friends be delusional.
I mean, this ain't new. This ain't new. We've seen this time and time again where modern women think that the grass is greener on the other side, right? They think that they're going to find a better man. They have 95% of what they're looking for. A man that was above average, he was paying all the bills, 3 luxury cars, forget about 1 or 2, but 3 luxury cars. And she thought she can do better, right? So now she's homeless, sleeping in her car. You can't make this stuff up. And she's probably mad as hell that he found a new girl and he's probably happier than ever before.
Bro, propaganda I'm not falling for is men shooting their shot at women unwarrantedly, especially in public places like the gym, grocery store, the mall, etc. Like, I understand game is game. You gotta get your shots if you want to get, what I'm saying, the one you're looking at. But every time I see a woman that I'm really attracted to, I'm like, damn, like she's fine. I'm just seeing her in the wild, living her life, minding her own business, doing her thing. I just think to myself, I'm like, I'd rather just admire at this point, because I would hate to be that one guy that walks up to her and just ruins her day. now I'm watching a TikTok post of this man decided to come up to me while I was just minding my business, drinking my cup. My bad, mamas. I don't even want to be that guy. I'd rather just save myself from dealing with anything like that. And yeah, obviously, like, there is a little bit of a fear of rejection because, people are supposed to be more aggressive when it comes to shooting a shot. I get that, but I'm not scary. I'm just not into the thought of being that guy.
I think for the most part, generally speaking, that is the sentiment that
Well, the fundamental problem is this, okay? It's not about really about fear of rejection or anything else like that. If this woman is a decent looking woman, she looks good. Again, no stone gets unturned now with social media for good looking women. Women have Instagram, they have Facebook, they have social media. They're getting engaged on a personal level, by men every day at their job, when they walk in the mall, when they're to go to church, throughout the week. They see men are approaching them. They have a huge amount of men that they can talk to and that they can meet in person. So there's no shortage of men. And the truth of the matter is, for these women, if you see situations like Pop the Balloon Show and whatever else, they have so many orbiting men in their life that it's gotten to a point now where if you're not that guy that meets this perfect image of what they want as a man, you're going to, they almost feel like you've lowered them or disrespected them by you approaching them. Like what made you think this morning that you and me were, it's like if you were a guy walking around and some 400-pound chick walks up to you and tries to get your number or something, or gives you flirting or gives you choosing signals. It started making you like, yo, look in the mirror like, well, yo, what's the deal? Would I need to level up my game or something? Level up myself? So what many of these modern women do is because if they have a grandiose sense of self-inflated, if they look at a guy and he's not that guy that they dreamed of or what social media tells them they should have, and he doesn't look in a way material wise where she can extract some immediate resources. He's driving a nice car, he's dressed in a way, he may not be the height that she wants or what she wants, but she sees some type of monetary benefit. They almost like they don't see that guy. He's almost invisible, even the average woman. And like I said, the majority of them already have men that they're sexually active with, have men that they're dealing with. And like I said, social media, it increased the availability of sausage for them. It didn't increase their ability to get men to want to marry them, but guys that can sometimes have sex with as many women as they want on that top of the food chain type guy. But still, even in that sense, they're not marrying these women. They're not marrying them at all. So it's just a pass around environment where they keep passing around the same women over and over again. So approaching them in public without any choosing signals or whatever else. Like I made a video before. The best way to meet women is through social circle while you are pursuing your own purpose and objectives in life. While you're just pushing to do the things that you do in your life, you happen to come across, or maybe you're introduced to somebody that you can get a vetting history on, or you can get an idea of what the woman is like in her natural environment and who she is as a person. Dating and stuff like that, especially nowadays, you get a tremendous amount of fraud in terms of representatives and who they are and what they are. It's easy to say, okay, this is my friend, a peaceful life. You know, what's the deal with so and so? I can say, well, I've known her for about 10 years. Yeah, she's good people's. What's her history? If I have a history report on the woman because I've known her, I've seen her, she's a part of a social circle or whatever else. You got a history on people. That's the problem with the internet. You see, before the internet, everybody pretty much knew everybody in these towns, these small towns, especially. I mean, it was so bad to the point before the internet. You know what women used to do? They still do it now. They had to completely change their geographical locations to rebrand themselves. Like you couldn't be a 304 in a particular county and then all of a sudden, you try to do this virtuous thing. You had women sometimes would move from California to Texas, or from Texas to New York, or from Texas to North Carolina to rebrand themselves because they'd already been ran through in that area. That's what they did before social media. Now, you're like, they just make a profile because again, they've shamed Shane. And they've tried to convince men that being a 304 or a sexual, it ain't working. It's backfired on them. But they're putting out, they talk about sex so openly now. They don't understand how cringe that makes men feel. Like Dr. Cheyenne Bryan, even when she was talking, she getting ran through and pounded out. She doesn't understand how like men are like, yo, they might be like, okay, we'll pound her out. But at the same time, we understand that she's a low value woman, right? So back in the day, they had to change the whole state. Now women, they can rebrand themselves on social media because now they can talk to a dude on the other side of the country or on the other side of the world. It's like the options are vast, but that options stunts growth. Options for sausage versus options for relationship. And that's where women make the mistake. Oh, there's a whole lot of guys coming at me, a whole lot of guys in my DM. But which one of these guys are coming at you for a long term relationship as opposed to dudes just being horny? And I think that's the perception that women, that's why you see so many single women out here, because a lot of women are not getting past the PNC stage. They're stuck in this phase. Women are stuck. Many men are too. They're not getting past this. How many, you know what I'm saying? Come on. Like, women think that because, okay, you got the attention of a certain guy, you've won. But if you have not done any self development and you're not a quality woman, you look good, your body is tight, but outside of sex, now you're just an expensive load because you offer no value, you offer no peace, you're high maintenance, you're hooked on social media, you're probably on TikTok all day long, and you don't really offer that guy anything that's inspirational and inspires him. And he's just looking at you like, she's just looking at you like, man. You see that guy, like he would have like, you ever seen that dude with a good looking woman? Yeah, and he looks and he's exhausted mentally. He's like this, like, yo, dude. And everybody, and another dude will see that woman and be like, oh man, she's fine. She's fine as hell, man. Look at her body. Her body's tight. Man, he must be really hitting that at night. Look at that. I would tear that up. Yeah, but you haven't listened to her talk. You haven't listened to her attitude. You haven't spent a whole day with her. You haven't spent a month with her. She could be crazy as a bag of dust. And that's what's happening to the relationship. They'll be, and that's why all of them walking around here single. Because the entirety of content now, to make money on the internet, you have to tell women what they want to hear. If you keep telling women what they want to hear, they're never going to do any self development. They're not going to. I'm telling you, they need to have a master class of male psychology because they're completely disconnected with what men want, what men valued, or what men care about. So if a majority of it's centered around women and women don't even know how to interact with men, and then they look good, or they've only been, I mean, really, it don't take much for a woman to get attention of men. I mean, we got like, what is it? What is the testosterone level of a man? Like I think men's testosterone ranges is usually between 300 and 1,000. Women is between what, 40 and 80? What's the measurement for women? Women's testosterone level. It's like what? Getting a man to give you sexual attention is about the equivalent of a man, being able to change a tire in a car. It's really not an achievement. Let's see, what is women's testosterone level? Let me see. So 15 to 17 nanogram per deciliter, okay? So this is what women's testosterone level is. So again, so this women's testosterone level, about 15 to 70 nanograms per deciliter. Okay. Men's testosterone, it can range by age. So age plays a factor, right? So men are between 300 and 1,000. So here we go. So men is between 300 and 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. Female testosterone level, male testosterone level. And this is what women don't understand. Okay? A man meets a woman, she's hot. He's sexually drawn to her, he's attractive to her. We're talking about a man with self esteem, a solid dude that has values, has character, has structure in his life. He's achieving things in life. She has passed the physical attraction test. She's passed it. So he spends, he's enjoying her physically. But outside of her sexuality, she has her whole mindset and mentality is self-centered, almost narcissistic in a way. Only with the mentality of extracting resources, extracting attention, not pouring into anything. She has not been taught, she's been taught her whole life that she's to extract from a man, extract her whole life, right? So after the man has released himself multiple times, he realizes that he has an empty vessel, a load. And if he has any self esteem, he knows that this woman is not good in quality for a long term relationship. He knows the deal. He's like, man, she looks good. She's sexy. But after he unloads himself, he realized that she's insufferable. This is a one sided relationship. One sided relationship. She doesn't have any of the values that women have in the past. She doesn't offer him peace. He can have sex with her. She has no domestic skills. She's not inspirational. If anything, she's parasitic in terms of her mindset and her mentality. And that's why even the guys that are having sex with all these women are not marrying them, because they keep having sex with the same women over and over again. Women that look good, their shell, their vessel is attractive. But half of them are insane. Many of them are on meds. And many of them are just parasitic. So what they consider to be this loneliness epidemic of men, many times it's just a burnout. Dudes are just like tired of women that only offer them box. You see, the modern woman itself, they've over-sexualized themselves, and they've all been led to believe that the only thing that you have to bring into the relationship is box. That's why you see them right now shaming men, provider men, this, provider men, that, provider men, this, provider men, that. But if you talk about what is the value that they bring, and that's what this conversation about what women bring to the table, is almost a wasted, ridiculous conversation at this point. Because what majority of modern women bring to the table is box, used box, heavily pounded out box, but that's what they bring to the table. So the real epidemic is not even a loneliness epidemic, it's a post nut clarity epidemic. I call it post nut clarity depression. These dudes are suffering from depression, especially when they had high hopes that the woman that they just met, maybe she's different. And then they absorb her for a little while. They're like, yo, man, you know, they might catch her barking at the moon one day. Or maybe he looks in her medicine cabinet and discover that she's on all types of medicine, bipolar or what they call it, personality disorder. Man, again. But again, we look at the testosterone difference in women and men, and we still have these women celebrating sex. This is women's testosterone level, right? 15 to 70 nanograms per deciliter. Men are going to want sex, right? This is men's testosterone level. Sex is not an achievement for women. Getting men to want to have sex with you should, if I see a woman celebrating sex with a man, it makes me want to vomit. She loses, I'm almost to the point I lose respect for her. When a woman talks about sex, the difference in men and women, that I automatically use respect for her. He said, Gunmetal guy said, waste time to have women quantify their existence because they do not think they have to also body count is a ridiculous concept between the majority are promiscuous in high school. Salute. I totally agree. But this idea of, these barrage of lonely men is that a lot of men are very, very, very calculated. Men respond to incentives. The incentive for men to even engage with these women at this point is purely sexual. A guy with good, healthy testosterone may see a woman in the store and he may want to get to know. He wants to get to know her. When you see him, you guys know. Even when I walk in the store, I go like to a Wawa or something like that to get my coffee. You see some things in there, even for some of the, ghetto chicks. They come in there with them banging bodies. You'd be like, whoa. But that's just hormones. That's just hormones. You look at them and be like, whoa, 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 whoa. A guy want to shoot his shot. He don't. Because if he's had enough experience with a lot of women out here now, it's like he automatically goes to where this is going. Where is this going? And then he may be like, you got to walk away, man. You got to walk away. You got to walk away something. You see it, you be like, yeah. But then how like you see the woman. And so some dudes are not approaching women because they have enough experience with women to know that that woman ain't worth shit. They already know she's worthless in terms of what he would want long term. And after he's done, now he's got to get rid. They got like, oh man, I got to get rid of her. And it's true. He said women claim to have fought to not be an object, but being an object is their fault. Yeah, because they could easily get it. You're telling me that they have an advantage. Women have an advantage over men. That's an advantage. We're going to want to have sex with them worse than they want to have sex with us. It's just a biological drive for a man. A healthy man with a healthy sex drive has a biological imperative to want to mate. That's an advantage that a woman has on a man. So when you see these single women out here doing this shit right here, right? When you see them like doing this crap right here, do you really feel sorry for them? She could have easily found a man to help out. That's why guys are like, I don't feel sorry for her. She's not a victim. Are you kidding me? You know how easy it is for women to find a man? And that's why guys like, man, are you kidding me, ma'am? Now, it may not meet a man that they hope for in their delusional state. A woman like that, pressure from the looks of her, she wants some 6'6" guy, whatever. There's a certain archetype of man that she wants. You know what I mean? That there's a certain archetype of a man that she wants in her life. But she can easily find a man. It may not be the man that she wants. She don't want, you know, good old Rufus who worked down the street. She don't want him. But he's been talking to her. That dude down the street, he been talking to her. He been raising her up every day, but she don't want him. She want to come over here and shame the men that don't want her. That's what she wants to do.
My question is, where are the black men in America? 6. But the black men here now, the standards of the men are so low, and I think most of our men have lost their standard and who they are when it comes to helping our females. It's sad, very sad.
All right, guys, go and check out this compilation video. Here we go.
So I'm having to lift these mountains by myself because there's no one here to help me do this. 5. And then I came to Walmart, and Walmart said they have no one here to do it. My question is, where are the black men in America? 6. So where are the black men here in America? It's so sad that female now has to do everything for themselves. Yeah, there are some of us who need the black man to help us out with stuff. But the black men here now, the standards of the men are so low. And I think most of our men have lost their standard and who they are when it comes to helping our females. It's sad, very sad.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, here we go again. Here we go again. We just saw a black man basically get a whole lot of backlash for simply saying hello to a black woman out in public. Not even trying to get her number, not even trying to holler at her, just simply exchanging pleasantries, keeping it moving. And black women were coming after him. They were basically saying that he should have paid for her groceries in order to get a hello from a black woman. Okay, so you have black women saying, leave us alone. And then in this case, we have black women saying, where are the black men? Right? How come they're not? I would help her out. I would help her out. That's just me. Because I think men, generally speaking, don't mind protecting and providing. That's not the issue.
Now, not my cup of tea, but there's some dude right there that again, he say, like those bags, dude. Don't look. Ah man, it's telling, man. It's telling. You know, it's telling. The guy that's going to help her, she don't want that guy. Let me find. Where's the picture of that guy who's going to help her out? Yeah, he don't. She don't want that guy. See, in her mind, here's what you know what the problem was with women like her. Hey Larry, I got middle guy. What got middle? I mean, where you going? They're selling one way or another with prizes. A man willing to unfortunately pay one way, another, line that men they need us more than other way around. We tolerate ish to our detriment. Very true. He said they're strong, and independent. They can get a stock boy if they can pay for a product they can have delivered. It called being an adult. But the issue with her goes deeper. Um, than that, and we saw it before. Again, we saw it with Lizzo, right? Remember when Lizzo made the video, right? Right? The problem with women like that is that, like her, women like her, the guy with the check mark is her guy. Okay? That's her guy. That's her guy. You see? That's the guy to help her. My brother right here is her guy. But she don't want that guy. You see? That's why she's struggling out here. You know, it's they have a guy that they can get with that will help them. You know, so these are not victims. So in their minds is a dream. Yeah, this is a dream. So I know her type, okay? Because her type is the type that be bothering me. I know that type of woman. I know her type. This woman right here, right? This same woman right here. You see? Let me take that back. I know how she thinks.
Are the black man in America. Sick. But the black man here now, the standards of the men are so low. And I think most of our men have lost their standard and who they are when it comes to helping our females. It's sad. Very sad. When I come to Walmart.
You see that woman right there? Again, she's suffering from that Lizzo syndrome right there. You see? This woman can get a man. She can have a man in her life. But this is her idea of what she thinks she deserves. You see? You see, Lizzo? Lizzo was what's the model name? Tyson or whatever. She didn't put this guy in her video. You see? She didn't put that guy in her video. See, that's the guy right there to help her with her bag. But she wanted this guy. You get it? So these women are not victims of anything, especially in the black community that's infested with simps. Yeah, Tyson Beckford. That's his name. Tyson Beckford. Right. So even the chunky black women have an idea and an image in their mind of a man that they feel they deserve. Right? So, but now she really is getting on there shaming men because she doesn't have a man in her life to help her. Because if she had a man in her life that she valued, she would not be making this video. It's almost like crocodile tears. Look at it. Now Lizzo, I'm see Lizzo is losing weight now. You notice after Lizzo scammed them, right? Lizzo scammed them, right? Now she's losing weight, you know. Now she's now you know Lizzo scammed the crap out of her. Looks out of them. He said 50 piece chicken nuggets, right? Yeah. But that's what happens to all of them. But they have choices. They have a lot of choices, man. But that's why a lot of them are single. So they're really trying to um and you know, hold on a second. So her complaints is like alligator. It's almost like alligator tears. You know, it's like, what the hell? Hold on one second.
My question is, where are the black men in America? 6. But the black men here now, the standards of the men are so low, and I think most of our men have lost their standard and who they are when it comes to helping a female. It's sad, very sad.
All right, guys, go and check out this compilation video. Here we go.
So I'm having to lift these couches by myself because there's no one here to help me do this. 5. When I came to Walmart, and Walmart said they have no one here to do it. My question is, where are the black men in America? 6. So where are the black men here in America? It's so sad
She sounds
that
West Indian too.
female now has to do everything for themselves. Yeah, there are some of us who need the black man to help us out with stuff. But the black men here now, the standards of the men are so low. And I think most of our men have lost their standard and who they are when it comes to helping our females. It's sad. Very sad.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, here we go again. Here we go again. We just saw a black man basically get a whole lot of backlash for simply saying hello to a black woman out in public. Not even trying to get her number, not even trying to holler at her, just simply exchanging pleasantries, keeping it moving. And black women were coming after him. They were basically saying that he should have paid for her groceries in order to get a hello from a black woman. Okay, so you have black women saying, leave us alone. And then in this case, we have black women saying, where are the black men? Right? How come they're not here to help me? Now, I'm just thinking to myself, if I was out and about and she was to ask for help, she was kind and courteous, I would help her out. I would help her out. That's just me. Because I think men, generally speaking, don't mind.
But she's not kind and courteous, right? Here's the problem right here, okay? I always said it. Her guy is the guy under the harassment sign, okay? That's her guy. You know what I mean? Her guy is the guy with your neck, okay? You know, never mind. That's her guy. It ain't the flirting guy. It's my brother in the blue shirt is probably a nice guy. He talks to her every day. He lives right down the street from her and has been trying to take her out on a date. You know, that guy's been trying to take her out on a date for a while. Men enjoy helping when asked nicely. The males that single women have raised are like them. They're selfish. Well, you know, in her mind, though, well, first of all, she sounds West Indian, right? She sounds West Indian. But I'm sure she's had plenty of options for men in her life. It ain't like she's you know, you know. What's going on, Andrew Baker? Salute to you, my brother. You know. So she's not a victim of anything. You know what I mean? Like my brother here in the blue shirt has been trying to take her out forever. My brother in the blue shirt has been trying to take her out forever. This guy has been trying to take her out, right? This guy had been trying to take her out. He would have carried those bags for her. And the guy in the blue shirt would have carried those bags for her. Both of these gentlemen would have carried the bags for her. You see what I'm saying? But in her mind, you know, her dream guy is not there. So she's going to shame us. Since she's not getting the labor, guys are not giving them that free labor. Yes, please do, guys. Hit the like button. Move the content. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. We have 12 likes. We have 21 in here. And if you guys want to support the channel, please do. Keep independent men's content going. There's no commercials. There's no hustling of products. There's nothing going on here. Support the channel. Hit the like button. And Joe Jett said, look, if he shot his shot, she would get mad and ask, why me? You know, And if would say we both have uh, a thyroid problem, so I thought that was an icebreaker. These women got men. They got men. You see? She looks down on the guy in the blue shirt. She looks down on him. He's hitting on her every day. He's probably got a good job. He's got himself together. But she wouldn't even have to go to the shop. She wouldn't even have to go to the store to get that stuff if she would just date. She would just like who likes her. If she would just like who likes her, that would solve her problem. But her, like Lizzo, they got to get what they want. You see, they got to get what they want. You know, so we're just gonna be making these videos when the dude down the street is trying to get her number. You know, and that's where we at. So the question becomes, the fundamental question gets back down to it is there a male loneliness epidemic, or has women's real life actions and social media opinions changed men's perception of women? But they ain't settling though. Andrew say, you ask, they're not settling. That's a match. They are a match. You tell me, okay, Andrew, doesn't this guy in the blue? Okay, let's exhibit A. The guy in the blue shirt is he not a perfect match for this lady right here? Gentlemen, put a 1 in the chat if you think this is a perfect match. I say 1. I think it's a perfect match. What do you guys think? I think she matches perfectly with the gentleman right here in the blue. There you go. Problem solved. He'd probably even marry her. He would probably even marry her. And she won't be over here struggling, trying to lift bags by herself. You know what I mean? He's probably a nice guy. But no, she don't want to marry. She don't want to be with my man in the blue. She just gonna hate on us. It's a trip, man. All these unnecessary toxic videos we're getting from these women. It's crazy, man. So let's move on past her. And again, here's the other part of this video we got to talk about. I call it making men cringe. Making men cringe. We have a problem, especially today in this society, with a bunch of old women, old like me, I'm a Gen X, leading with their sexy. I'm talking about box, Gen X box, boomer box, and they don't understand how cringe-worthy that is. See, they see the young women say things sexually, and they think that they're the same. And they don't understand how much guys want to blow projectile vomit when they do this. Even when you see women at the job and they talk about sex in front of men. Now, if a guy is horny, he's thinking empty my balls. But that's about it. Low frequency woman. But she can talk to a point that will kill an erection. But women, they don't understand how we work. Our testosterone drives us to do things. But after we're done, we start evaluating things logically and rationally. And vintage box does not inspire us very much. So if you're an older woman, you better be leaving with some good cooking or something. You might want to share information about something else beside your box. Because it ain't going to inspire anybody other than a loser or a bum. Older women leading with their sexy, making men cringe. I got to do a video on that. It's got to be the most disturbing aspect of things.
You guys won't say it, so I'm going to say it for you. It's a struggle out here, over 50 and in these dating streets, because most of us have already been married. We've probably had kids that are grown now. It's a struggle out here because we really want our backs blown out. We do. We really want to, whop whop and bounce on that thing. But we got morals. We got, you know, integrity and dignity. So, to you hoes that can do it, hey, I support you 1000%. I wish I had it in me because I want my back blown out, but not just anybody will do. Dating over 50, struggle is real.
Nasty work.
That is just cringe-worthy. Cringe. Sorry, guys. Look, I'm not paying for your therapy after listening to that. Stop it. It's not just morals. That's cringe-worthy to hear a woman that old talk like that. I see women on platforms and whatever, and they're older, and you know, they don't understand how cringe that is to guys. Like any self-respecting man with self-esteem, that is absolutely cringeworthy. Now, they're trying to they think they see themselves as the 23-year-old version of themselves. That's why they make these videos, social media. So in her mind, she's just doing what women do, and she's thinking she's got a bunch of guys that she doesn't desire in her DMs and whatever else, telling her she's sexy shit. She put a post on social media, she get all the likes and whatever else. And the black community is a matriarchal culture, so the men in general have low standards or whatever else. So in her mind, she thinks that the men she want would find this interesting or exciting, or they would be inspired by this. But the men that she want actually find this cringeworthy because she's really just flexing old box, vintage, old box, offering that as value. If she really was smart, she'd be in the kitchen making videos about her masterful lasagna. And be like, these young girls can't bake this lasagna like me, old school. Like she'll be cooking up. If old women like this knew how cringeworthy them leading with their sexy is, they will try and flank. You guys been in the military, right? They'll flank these young women by demonstrating they have skills that these young women don't have. Because many of these young women can't boil water. If they try to cook, they'll burn the whole damn house down. So the way how these older women can get the advantage is demonstrate their domestic skills, their peace, and what they're like, you know what I mean? Like, shoot. You know, they're like, she be in there with a big pan of macaroni and cheese and yams and some smothered turkey legs, and and you'll see her cooking that stuff. but they're trying to lead with their sexy. And the guys are getting like some projectile vomit, like, because they don't put, now guys is aging that box. They're like, now, if a guy is down on his luck and he's horny, he may slide over there at 11 o'clock on a Friday night where nobody can see him. But he's not going to be seen in the daylight with her. But after he relieves himself, now he's got to deal with the trauma. When he relieves himself, you got to deal with, you go back again, it goes back to the circle of events. Now he has post-nut clarity depression. It's a vicious circle of nowhereness. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I got a recipe. Hit the, So when we were kids, women that age would talk about pie recipes. Now they're talking about making their pie rest in peace, right? But I'm saying, like, they got the advantage on these young girls, man. These young girls can't cook. Instead of making these thirst videos or, offering old vintage box to the male population, like, make some videos about some damn sweet potato pies, some apple pies or whatever, or that baked lasagna or some, or some roast, coming out the kitchen, putting that gravy over that roast like this, and say, look, you can go over there and have sex with those young women, but when you come to my house, you're going to leave with your belly full and your balls drained. Girls be like, whoa. And they look around. Her house is clean and squared away. Her trash is emptied out. Her dishes is washed. The environment is squared away over there. Like, whoa, what do we have here? This is something different. Ain't nobody cooking like this. And then you get the decent looking old dude to come over there now. But these women are crazy. They advertising used box, old vintage spiderweb infested box. That spiderweb box ain't gonna get you no man. You better cook that lasagna, girl. They won't cook that. They can't cook the old woman. Look at her. That dude's gonna run out the house after he's done. What happens if after he pounds her out, he sees some bulging varicose vein? You gotta overpower that with some roast. You know what I mean? Like, you guys, it's funny. Like, you gotta overpower your lack of your age has to be reinforced with you reinforce your age with skills and experience. And you outflank them. You outflank these young girls with your skills. My house is clean. There ain't no medicine. They ain't no, you know what I mean? Like, there ain't no pills in my medicine cabinet. My house is, let me tell you something. Some of these squared away Gen X women, if they really squared away, their house be tight. Their house be clean. Furniture be good. Pictures be matching on the wall. The decor is there. The ambience is there. When you come over to the house, you're like, what the hell? You're like, what's that cooking? You smell the food from all downstairs and shit. You're like, what the hell has she just cooked? You stick your head like, you knock on the door, you want to know what she's cooking in the house? Because she cooking some shit that grandma used to cook. That's why grandma and them always kept a man. They weren't out here advertising old vintage box. They were advertising their gravy. When they made that meatloaf, they ate that meatloaf with that potatoes and those string beans. And you literally had to lay on the couch for like 3 hours like this and shit. Yeah, like this shit, yeah. It's fucking, And it's an infestation with these old broads, man. Trying to lead with their sexy. It is infuriating. And the guys are disgusted. Stop doing that, women. Any woman that's over 35, 40, whatever, if you want to have your body tight, but don't lead with it. Just let it be there, a part of the package deal. Lead with your meatloaf, lead with your lasagna, and lead with your squared away tight house. Your sheets on the bed look good. You went and got that shit from Macy's and you got your shit squared away. Your house is your shit is like, you dude walk over to your house, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This one here is special. This one here is special. He walk in your bathroom, he touched the sink, no soap scum on the sink. He open up the refrigerator, he see vegetables, he see peppers, he see onions, he see ingredients in there, he see greens in there, he see scallions in that damn refrigerator, he see tomatoes in there. There's some stuff in the refrigerator. Like, this woman actually shops for food. She cooks food. Instead of opening up your refrigerator and the dude see old Chinese food box and leftover pizza box and, you a couch potato watching reruns of Netflix. You're making thirst posts on Instagram and Facebook. Everything you got is like you're door dashing and shit. It's ridiculous. I wish they would stop. Older women stop leading with old box. It's crazy. It's madness, man. So just listen to this. Let me know, guys. You got your seatbelt strapped on. I'm gonna make you cringe again. You ready for another cringe? No, I'm just joking. I'm not gonna do it. Hey guys, send up some super chats, man. Let's get this going. You want to support the channel? Please hit the like button. Send a super chat to support the channel. But man, and I do it. I think I need. Do I need to have a channel where I teach these older women some skills and dealing with men? I don't know. It would be like a Martha Stewart with a Martha Stewart video. Imagine me have like a channel that teaches older women how to get and keep a man. It'd be like a Martha Stewart video and shit. Me walking around. This here is which will attract you to be attractive to make you a 1% woman. It's not your old box and your sexy. It is that your maturity and your skill and your the ambience of your house, the comfort of the environment, where a man can come over there and feel like a damn man. But no, we got their ass talking this crap on the internet. It's repulsive.
And in these dating streets, because most of us have already been married. We probably had kids that are grown now. It's a struggle out here because we really want our backs blown out. We do. We really want to, whop whop and bounce on that thing. But we got morals. We got, you know, integrity and dignity. So, to you hoes that can do it, hey, I support you 1000%. I wish I had it in me. because I want my back blown out, but not just anybody will do. Dating over 50, struggle is real.
Nasty work. Absolutely nasty. I was expecting an older woman to provide wisdom and knowledge to the youth, not to be out here thotting and bopping, hookah and crab legs, and to be out here in these streets. Right here she is talking about she wants her back blown out, 50 plus. Right? We should be teaching the youth, these young women, not to over sexualize themselves and to possibly get married and to settle down and to find a man or to find a husband. I'm just saying, right? To at least find a life partner or somebody that they can build with. But I think this is just a classic example of older women influencing younger women to remain single, or single women teaching other women to remain single, right? It's the same old song and dance here when it comes to these types of situations. Now, I do want to take a look at one particular comment here that caught my eye. It reads, I used to have morals and dignity, not anymore. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the support. So you got women out here that are gravitating towards this message and throwing out their morals and dignity out the window. Okay, so it's just a free for all at this point in time when it comes to some of these older modern women, or just women generally speaking. You can't make this stuff up.
Do not let the internet trick you into thinking that there are no good black men out there, because baby, there are plenty. I keep seeing this trend of, oh, you look happier, I stopped dating black men. Do y'all not realize that there's bad men in every ethnicity? Since y'all want to bash these black men so much, let me give some praise to my black men. There are plenty of good black men out there who will love you, take care of you, provide for you, take you on vacations, buy you flowers, buy you gifts, just because they want to see a smile on your face. And most importantly, marry you. It's a lot of women out there that will just overlook the good ones. I've seen it firsthand way too many times. Even on the Pop the Balloon show, that's the perfect example. Oh, he's too short. He's too boring. He doesn't make $250,000. He's a nerd. Like, come on. Now, I have no problem whatsoever with interracial dating. Go where you're loved, go where you're appreciated. But y'all are not going to bash these black men on my watch. Not on my watch. Not today.
All right, guys, so there you have it. So shout out Stuart for keeping it real and standing on business when it comes to her perspective on black men. Okay, it's definitely refreshing to see, or at the very least consider it.
Salute to Beast Mode. And again, I'm glad he said that in the end, because again, fundamentally, let me get some of these comments. Hey, my brother, Andrew Baker. Salute to you, man. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the super sticker, man. I gotta give you and Gunmetal Guy, I gotta give you guys the super chat explosion, man. Appreciate your support. Yes. Thanks for your support, my brother. And you said it right. Men have morals and standards not to settle. Absolutely. They think we don't have any standards. Again, I guess some dudes will smash anything. Dudes get horny. We got high testosterone. If you're healthy, we'll smash some stuff. Some of us. But the higher a man's standards are, the less he's willing to take some things. My brother Fred Carpenter said, I'm only too short of a threesome. Ah, man. He said, Big Mama trying to be chosen. Not mad at it. None of us are mad at it. You know what I mean? None of us are mad at it, man. But again, she's leading with the wrong action. But, she probably could lose a little bit of weight too. She needs to trim down and slim down a little bit. But, we know who her guy is, Andrew. She don't even like her guy. Her guy is right there. She don't even like him. You said make sure I miss any comments up here. You said pillbox. It's like an old leather baseball glove found in the back, right? Oh, man. She got to get her guy, man. Women got to stop playing this game, man. That's her guy, man, in the blue. You know? Japanese MXD said this new era is full of a lot of delusional women that seek validation, don't mind being hypersexual, fetishized. It's crazy out here. Oh yeah, got those like fried okra, collard greens, hog mug, sitting on a couch with a belt undone like Al Bundy. Absolutely, man, absolutely. But they're out of touch. They're completely out of touch with what men really value from women in terms of older women. Like they have no, and even now, I mean, it's bad enough, you know, like I said, the men they want, the men they want are not going for that. So it is what it is, man. You know, it's the fantasy. The fantasy is there. It's not going anywhere. But we're gonna go back. We're gonna get to the gist of things. We're gonna talk about my man made a video the other day. Where's he at? We got to talk about. Let me put the link in the thing in the description. I'm gonna finish up with my man. The Passport OG. He did this video and talk about the male loneliness epidemic that they talk about so much, which actually is a farce. And one of the inspirations behind this, even this content this morning, is this idea of this fake, made up male loneliness epidemic. Let's hear what Passport OG has to say.
Fellas, I'm just gonna give you some advice. All that chasing, it don't work.
No,
if
not
she
at
want
all.
to be, look, if
Not
she
at all.
wants to be with you, she'll be with you. Believe me. All that chasing, you're killing yourself, B. I promise you.
And listen,
I guarantee it.
We have to admit to ourselves that sometimes, no matter how hard we're running our race in life or how fast we're moving, life throws things at us that we're not ready for, and sometimes it trips us up.
Land of the free and the home of the what?
And is it Nalea?
Yeah.
Do you have children?
What?
Do you have children?
Do I have children? No.
You don't.
They dead and gone. Dead and gone. I have no kids.
No kids.
When historians look back on the impact of social media, it's going to be very difficult for them to truly understand how much it changed human behavior. As Gen Xers, we saw before and after, and it's night and day. We have seen humans basically become different behaving animals. And for many young ladies, the amount of attention they can get from saying certain things or revealing certain things on social media gives them a dopamine hit that is so strong that there's no one guy that can deal with it or mimic it, if you will. And that's the first shoe to drop. But the second shoe to drop, in my opinion, is the misdiagnosis of the effect of social media on men. Many people call it a male loneliness epidemic, or they say that there's a glut of INCELSs, if you will. But what guys understand is that sooner or later, all of these young ladies we're seeing on social media are going to get back to this point.
I genuinely need the universe to explain. I'm over here ready to be wifed.
I'm ready to fall so in love. Like I'm ready to give someone serious babies. I'm 31 today, and no one is sitting across the table from me at dinner and holding my hand or telling me how beautiful I look or coming home and doing whatever it is that people do. It's unfair.
To be honest with you, I don't think there's anything wrong with a 31-year-old woman looking for the love of her life. But just like if you have a long gap in your resume or your hiring history, someone's going to ask you, what were you doing between 17, 18, and 31?
We know what she know they were doing between 17, 18, and 31. They were getting vigorously and viciously pounded out, enjoying that sexual liberation. And of course, like the old lady we showed just recently, they ain't helping the situation any better. Let's continue on. Salute to Passport OG.
And if her resume, social media wise, is anything like what we're seeing from many of the young ladies, it's going to involve some male dislikes, men hating. It's going to involve some getting the bag. It's going to involve some of all the things that you're seeing on social media. And even some of the ladies are starting to understand why guys are losing interest in dating. It's just not very romantic.
I could not be a man dating in 2025. You said you only date men that pay all your bills.
Hey, why every time I turn around you want to go somewhere? Can we sit and save some money? Like, I don't want to just keep spending. Every time I turn around, it's just like constant spending. I'm gonna kind of be constant saving, like, geez, like straight up. Always got to be spending money. It's just
money.
Oh. I gotta go half with you on a rent to take you on a date.
And if he don't buy no Louis, he can't get no pooch. And if he don't get Dior, I can't be a whore.
You don't cook. Oh, you can't cook.
What does it actually mean when a man asks, can you cook? Here's a hint. It's not about the food. It's about the fantasy. As a divorce lawyer, I've heard this question come up more times than I can count. And let me tell you, it's rarely about your culinary skills. It's about whether you'll play the role that he's already written for you in his head. He's not looking for a partner. He's looking for a personal chef, a maid, a therapist, a secretary, and maybe if you're lucky, a woman he occasionally brags about. Cooking is just code. It's the litmus test for how quickly you'll fold into his lifestyle, not build one together.
You need $1,000. You need me to pay for your BBL.
And if he don't buy me Balenciaga, he can't be my mama. And if he don't take me to Chanel, I'ma give him hell.
Your homegirl said my chain fake. Your homegirl lived with her mama. What do you mean your car is on fire?
I got a question. Is it gay for a man to fall asleep in the front seat while his homeboy driving? Okay, I thought it was too. Thank you.
You pregnant.
Yo, I've never seen nothing like this. The woman is texting her guy.
Mm-hmm.
She's texting her sneaky link, right? Her husband's at home.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yo, stop playing with me. I'll come jump on that right now.
To a sneaky link.
To sneaky, like, yo, pull up. It's whatever. She's like, all right, I'm about to send you a cash app right now. $75. He's like, what's this for? She sent him a list of groceries. She said, I want you to go pick up these groceries.
Oh, you planning us a vacation? That's what's up. You need my credit card number.
Because I'm going to go tell my husband I'm going grocery shopping. So when I come to your crib, I already got the groceries. We got the 30 to 40 minutes it would have took me to pick up the groceries to knock this.
Oh.
You know.
Oh.
Yo, you know.
Fair women.
Son, yo.
That was so intelligent.
Yo,
that was so intelligent.
Yo, a tear dropped from my eye, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, she did that. She did her big one with that one.
You need $3,000.
Adulting while black is realizing that Gina should have left Martin. I will not explain.
That's why I never watched Martin. I cannot tell you about one episode solidly. Like, I am black, like I seen the show. But even I did not need to be an adult to realize that Martin and Gina should have never been. And I wasn't going to subject myself to that.
Nah, baby, I like kids. I like it. 3 baby daddies.
African women, please learn how to call the police on your significant other, on your man here in America. Yeah, learn how to do that. It's okay to call the police. Like, you have to know when to call the police and when to stop playing. Because I know in our culture, calling the police in America is just such a taboo. Like, oh my God, it's the last resort. It means like you're evil if you call the police. But no, African men know that African girls won't call the police here in America. Black girls are just now starting to call the police, but African girls really, we don't call the police. Yeah, no, that's it. I call. You want to play? You want someone to chase you? The police is gonna chase you. Yeah. Now go prove to them that I'm a liar.
What's the biggest thing you hate about women?
The biggest thing I hate about women is that, that one Billie Eilish quote, she said, "You give an ugly guy a chance, he thinks he rules the world." That's it right there. Okay. You look at that statement, you see how invalid that is. As a young man coming up, you see how they're just trying to put you down, okay? Now, if the roles were reversed, this would be a cancelable offense for us. Okay.
Calling little girls fast is society's cowardly way of protecting predators.
If you ask a man why he wants children, he'll tell you that he wants children to continue his legacy. But what legacy? Listen, lineage is not to be confused with legacy. Lineage is when you just continue your line to birth kids. Legacy is when you actually have something in the family, be it money, property to pass on to your children, money, property, titles, connections, things that can put your children at an advantage in your demise. That is a legacy. Most men do not have legacies. Only a few men are rich enough to leave legacies for their children. What you want is to continue your lineage, but your lineage is so stupid and abusive. Why would I want to continue that? You rat. That's how I know men do not know what they're saying when they talk about lineage, continuing legacy. You don't have a legacy. You are broke.
I'm going to have a conversation with Dr. Dunbar about this very topic of this video. I don't think that there is a male loneliness epidemic. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there isn't one. I don't think there's an INCEL epidemic either. I think what has happened is that many young men, previous to at least my generation, before social media, we would have not known all of these things, the dark secrets, and there are many, of young ladies about how they detest men that aren't rich yet, or how they want men that are a certain height or look a certain way, or they want princess treatment, and anything less than that is not worthy of their time or presence. And seeing that as a regular guy, there's nothing romantic about that. There's nothing that makes you want to go be rich so that you can buy her. That is not what motivates guys. You can motivate a guy with the physical for a very short amount of time, but it's that idealistic view of women that we have lost. We didn't have so much information on women, and now these days we have more information than we wanted. This is one reason why I think social media should have been regulated, because it's clear that many young ladies don't really have a filter when it comes to just saying, maybe I shouldn't post this. That desire to go viral or get the attention is so great that they can't resist it. And now many young men have seen the other side of young ladies, and it's just not something that you're going to go chase. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just a new reality that many young ladies have made it clear. I want a guy who's going to give me a certain lifestyle, make me rich, buy me things. And until you can buy me things, I don't really want you in my space. And that's essentially telling a guy, give me your money. I don't care who you are. And I can't imagine what could be less romantic than that.
So, I mean, he really articulated and landed that plane home. I like Passport OG because he has a more cerebral type way of delivering the message in a very articulated fashion. But where we at right now is not about loneliness epidemic. We're in a hell no epidemic. Oh hell no. This is where we at. These dudes is like, no. Because the juice is just not worth the squeeze. It's just at a point right now. They have a certain version of community that men are not interested in. You know what I mean? They're just not. And any logical man is going to come to this conclusion at the end of the day. Because even now, the brother, the male therapist, he's now under attack from these simps. The black male therapist. Remember the brother, St. James. What's the black male therapist's name? The simps are going to when you start making, the guy who said that they said they're going to replace Kevin Samuels. Not going to happen. Not in matriarchal culture. They will not allow it. The first people that are going to come for you is the simps. The simps are going to be the first one to come at him. They're trying to destroy him. They're going to be searching, hoping, wishing, trying to debunk any type of conversation that they make. Yes, that guy. Yes, they're going to come for him. They're coming for him now. I just don't want to play the videos because I don't want to give those simps any credit. I don't want to big up these simps, but there's a whole bunch of simps coming at the guy right now. I didn't want to, I don't want to give them any attention. So you end up with that type of, and it's always that guy, in the black community, especially. Where those guys at? Yeah, they're irrelevant. It's just that their attacks, what they do is they validate. They validate. It's like, see, I can't use Derek Jackson because Derek Jackson is not a simp. Derek Jackson is just a businessman. It's never. See, the Derek Jackson is just trying to make some money. Like in the community, right? It like a Derek Jackson, right? A guy like Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson is one of us, except that he's willing to lie to the women for money. It's just the way it is. But Derek Jackson is as alpha as they come. I'm sorry. He's just a good businessman. The guys that are going to come for St. James, the male therapist, is these guys right here. Those are the guys that are going to come for him. The same guys that come for us is the same guys that are going to come for St. James. This is the guy, that's the hitman right here. These two dudes right here. Those are the dudes who do most of the pandering. And those are in the black community. They're going to come for you. That's a guy coming, oh, you dudes don't get no box. But then you look at what he's consuming, you be like, yo, you keep that box, buddy. Yeah, you keep getting that box. But those are the guys that are going to try and take you down. Like, those are the same type of guys that come for like a Kevin Samuels. You see what I'm saying? It's these dudes. These dudes are going to come for a Kevin Samuels or the black male therapist, or they're going to come for us in this space. That's why I don't even allow them in here, because I know their situation at home. You see how they exposed Dr. Cheyenne Bryan, because Paul Pierce had the balls and the intelligence enough to ask questions about, you're telling people all this stuff, but what about you? Tell us about your life. And that, when she had to expose her life, it gave away what a 3 or 4 she is. But the first people that came to defend Dr. Cheyenne Bryan was these guys. They came running. They came running to her aid. Because they're bitch-led dudes. So they want to control, they have to control the narrative. The women in their life and the women in the community wants the narrative to be controlled. Yeah, she is. They're saying that the guy that she was talking about, the younger guy, is actually a woman that she used to mess with, or that she's still messing with. But you know how the black community is. Anything that puts down man or whatever else, the women buy into that trauma bonding narrative or whatever else, and the usual nonsense, man. They love that trauma bonding. That's why Tyler Perry is mad. Now they mad at Tyler Perry now. They mad at Tyler Perry. They ain't mad at Derek Jackson. They mad at Tyler Perry. Because Tyler Perry didn't depict enough of an image of a powerful woman. He won them with the trauma, regurgitated trauma, but he didn't give a empowerment. It was too sad for them, it's just like you say he didn't give a hero story, so they got mad at him. Fake doctor hypocritically tried shaming man for breaking aching families, but for breaking making what oh, I see what you say. For breaking families with a damn hammer in her hand. Exactly. But she's saying she doesn't have any kids, but that doesn't mean she hasn't deleted about 5-10 kids. She could have deleted many kids over the years, because we know how the black community should be probably missing about 30 million more people in America. The population should be 30 million more, but Planned Parenthood says, hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But these are the guys that come for you, man. These are the guys that come for you. And the way they talk, see, because again, their aggression is towards other males. They're always going to be aggressive towards males that are masculine or whatever else. It's like that hyena mentality. They're like, because they're, especially when they have their balls clipped by their woman, they're always going to have that, what's they call that stuff? Misplaced aggression, because they are emasculated at home and they get no respect in the neighborhood. So they're trying to reclaim their masculinity by being keyboard warriors and coming at men online or attacking men or trying to cape for the community just to get, the ladies to tap them on the head. You good boy, you good boy, you good boy. Yeah, you say 7 million plus more people? Yep, I believe it. The black community should have about 70 million plus more people. Yeah. Yep. But the women took the bait. Yep. They did. But many of them ended up at Planned Parenthood, unfortunately. So Joe Jett said they want Tyler Perry to make a movie about them wrecking their lives, giving a soft underbelly interview, but becoming a business owner baby mama that gets the Super Bowl winning quarterback. Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. And they're like, Tyler, you failed us. You failed us, Tyler. That's what it is. And they on his case now. They on his neck. But it's too late now, ladies. Tyler's already a billionaire. I mean, he's getting sued for his debauchery. But Tyler's already a billionaire now. He don't care what they think. Yeah. But that's it, man. You basically outlined it. Yeah. The Russell Williams um, scenario, right? They're waiting for that Russell Williams to come, man. But they all got that in them, man. They're waiting for that, wishing for that hero. But again, it becomes like I always talk to guys now about focusing on yourself in your own life. You got to focus on yourself, man. I mean, we make this content for entertainment purposes. Like most of it now is entertainment purposes. We just entertain ourselves with this goofy shit. Because really, the solution is basically the man in the mirror. Live your life on your own terms. Only like who like you in terms of the quality of women that like you. Travel, take care of your money, get in shape, do things for your own life. Let happiness trickle down from you as a man. You got now more than any time before, a man has to be about self-preservation. Now more than any time in our history, a man has to be about self-preservation because the times we live in is completely jacked up. And you can't let anybody sucker you into being an altruist and giving up your life for people who don't give a rat's ass about you, because every time they talk about you, it is always about what benefits them. They never talk about what they can do for you or what they can offer you or what value they can bring to you. Every conversation about you as a man nowadays is about what you need to do for other people, how you need to be better for other people, what you need to give of your sacrifice, your hard-earned money, your resources, your relationship about other people. No conversation about what men want, no conversation with what men require, no conversation about what women should be to deserve anything from us. You know what I'm saying? Men walks on our, walks on yourself, work on yourselves, because in the end, all you're going to have is you, because everybody else is going to want a piece of you without reciprocating. Facts. Facts, man. Well, we're going to get out of here soon. You guys want to support the channel, you can. You can also support me on the Cash App. We're going to start doing just more streams, and we might do some panels. So we do members only. The guys that have been part of the channel for a while, we just do members only streams and have guys, because really at this point the conversation is becomes we can always feed off each other's energy and help each other out in terms of achieving our goals. We got to start getting into the money, the finances, the exercise, the travel, going places, man. But my mentality is very simple. It's just I really don't. The truth of the matter is this: when I go outside and walk around, I don't even. Most of the stuff we talk about, they will never know the conversation unless they know me, know my channel. Period. Let these wild horses run free. Let them run free. You can't change anything. Hopefully the counselor will go back into the shadows before they try and destroy his character. Kevin Samuels tried his best to help these people. They celebrated that man's death. Everybody that's tried to help these people, they've turned on them. The only people that they respect and value are the people that are promoting and selling degeneracy, lying, pandering, degenerate talk. That's the only people they respect. They don't respect anybody that's trying to help them. They don't want to be helped. They don't want the information. Only a select few people want the information. Everybody, they don't want it. So let these wild horses run free. Enjoy your life. Develop your life. Work on early retirement. Financially level up. Level up in all categories of your life. There's a big world out here. There's a big world out here to live in. You have money, you can go live there. So with that being said, I'm out of here, gentlemen. Appreciate your support. Hit the like button if you haven't. If you want to support the channel, please do. Make sure you share the stream if you feel like it. I'm out, gentlemen. Peace and blessings.